IndiGo is India's first cattle genomic chip. First, understand what is the meaning of genomic chip. Genomic chip is nothing but a fast way of do some DNA testing for some specific purpose. For example, just for the sake of example, suppose this is a genomic chip for identifying the traits of humans. A blood sample of your blood sample will be taken and spread over this. Now each cell has some special chemicals, and your blood is going to react. The DNA of your blood will react with these chemicals in a particular way. So this chip has been designed in such a way that if you have, let us say, blue eyes, then the color of these cells will change. If you have black hair, then the color of these cells will change. So your physiological traits are identified by a quick DNA test, right? Now same test you can do for cattle also. If you want to know that a particular cattle is high milk yielding or not, if it is of a pure Indian breed or it has some mixed breed. So it is a quick DNA testing that practically anyone can do if he has this genomic chip. So remember, it is not an electronic chip. Okay, it's a DNA testing chip. So for identifying the pure breeds of Indian cattle, this chip has been made by National Institute of Animal Biotechnology, headquartered in Hyderabad, under Department of Biotech. Department of Biotech comes under Ministry of Science and Technology. Milk has fat content, and milk also has SNF. SNF means solid non-fat. Some solid things in the milk which are not fat, like vitamins, minerals, proteins. So SNF should be less or more? More. SNF should be more. Also, please remember the names of some indigenous breeds of cattle in India like Gir, Kankrej, Sahiwal, Ongol, etc. Some initiatives. Biotech Kisan, launched in 2017, aims to connect science labs and farmers so that farming problems can be solved in a scientific way. National Animal Disease Control Program is to vaccinate 60 crore livestock against foot and mouth disease. Dairy processing and infra development is for milk processing facilities. Gokul mission is for developing the indigenous bovine breeding facilities. Pashu Sanjeevani is to give health card to milch animals, how healthy is a particular cattle. E-Pashu Haat is basically an online market to connect farmers and breeders of indigenous breed of cattle. In 1965, we launched National Dairy Development Board in Anand in Gujarat. In 1970, we launched Operation Flood, and within 28 years, India became the largest producer of milk in the world. Even today, India has the largest bovine population in the world, but 36% milk goes to organized sector, and most of the milk goes to unorganized sector. The milk that is coming through Mother Dairy or Amul, all that is organized sector, and the milk that you are taking from the nearest buffalo wala from your house, that person is unorganized sector. Biotech pride. See, whenever some research and development is done in the biotech sector, then obviously a lot of data and knowledge is generated. So there will be some data center which will be housing or storing data repository which will be housing all the data and all the knowledge regarding that research. Like this, there are many centers which are housing such knowledge. Now government is trying to link all of them so that a national biogrid will be made for all this knowledge, right? That is called as a biogrid, and the name of the program is Biotech Pride. Who is going to implement it? IBDC, Indian Biological Data Center. Its headquarters is in Faridabad in Haryana. It is an institute under Department of Biotech, Ministry of Science and Tech. Two viruses that were in news. Monkey bee virus. It normally affects monkeys, but till now 50 human infections have also been seen. It was first identified in 1932, and recently the death of a human was reported from China. Obviously it does not affect many people, so there is no vaccine. Marburg virus. It is of the same family as Ebola. It has very high fatality rate of 88%. In 1967, there were two sudden outbreaks in Germany and in Serbia. It mostly infects people from bats who live in caves, and human to human transmission has been confirmed as given on WHO website. What is multiverse? Sorry, metaverse. Metaverse is kind of a virtual universe that humans may live in the future. It will be a mix of reality and virtual world. Just like if you know what is Second Life game, it is a very advanced version of that. So metaverse, this futuristic world, will be created using two technologies, mainly augmented reality and virtual reality, which is important because in 2019 UPSC asked a question on AR and VR, and in options 1 and 2 UPSC interchanged the concepts, right? So it's an important thing and very simple. Suppose you are playing a video game on your laptop or your mobile. So whatever is happening in that video game, that is 100% inside the video game. It has got nothing to do with the reality. These cars, buildings, roads, everything is fake. This garden, Pokemon, everything is fake, right? It is totally fake. It is totally virtual. So this is virtual reality. In case of augmented reality, you are augmenting the things which are there in the real world. You are driving a car. Suppose you are using the reverse camera. In the reverse camera, there comes some guidelines like this. So that is augmented reality. In reality, you are augmenting with something. Or in 2017, a very popular game came, Pokemon Go. Look at this road. Is anyone standing on this road? No one is standing here. But if you see this through this camera, then you will find that there is a Pokemon standing there. So what is your mobile doing? Your mobile is interlinking. Your mobile is augmenting the reality with some virtual components. So this is augmented reality. Okay. So just understand their meanings and you will be able to solve this 2019 question. You should not confuse metaverse with multiverse. Multiverse is about multiple universes. Some scientists say that just like with the Big Bang, our universe was formed. Similarly, there are some parallel universes also. Okay, it's a concept of physics. It's a hypothetical concept of physics. Okay, so multiverse and metaverse are different things. NCRB is going to use National Automated Facial Recognition System. NCRB is National Crime Records Bureau, comes under the Ministry of Home Affairs, launched in 1986, established in 1986. Two famous initiatives are Crimes and Criminal Tracking Network System. After 2008 Mumbai attacks, we launched it in 2009, whereby we said that the database of all the police stations should be connected and combined in a common database, and it should be updated in almost real time. In 2019 we said, why only police stations? Why not even connect with this database, the database of courts, of prisons and other such things? So this second thing is called as interoperable criminal justice system. So through facial recognition, how this thing will work is basically, this is a computer, smart computer. In this you feed a photograph, a photo of a person. Now continuously this system will be fed by the real-time footage through thousands of CCTV cameras or other devices from the country. So now computer will automatically identify and tell you that this person whose pic you have given, where is this person right now, if it is available in any of these videos, right? So this is one application. You can also use it to identify missing person, to identify dead bodies, right? To identify gangsters, criminals, anyone, right? All those are applications. Now there are different types of biometrics. Facial recognition is just one type. You can be identified with your fingerprints, the structure of your hand, iris scan as done in Aadhaar card, DNA, the keystroke, the way you type on the computer, that also has a pattern, even you don't realize it. Your signature, the way you speak, your voice tone, all these are biometrics, that is, they can be used to uniquely identify you. UAVs. On UAVs, 2-3 types of questions can come. What is Indrajal? It is an anti-drone system made by a private company. What is Digital Sky Platform? If you have a drone, it is compulsory to get it registered on this portal and get permission to fly. Each time you fly, you have to take a permission. This is called as no permission, no takeoff. You cannot take off your drone without getting permission from the government each and every time. Next thing UPSC can ask, that some guidelines or rules related to drone, which ministry has framed? Ministry of Defense or Ministry of Home Affairs? No, it is Ministry of Civil Aviation. Okay, some basic rules like, if you have a drone, you have to get it registered. If your drone is nano drone, that is less than 250 grams, no need to get it registered. If it is heavier than 500 kg, then drone rules will not apply. Aircraft rules will apply. Okay, airspace for security reason will be partitioned into three zones: red zone, yellow zone, green zone. That is where it will be allowed, where it will not be allowed to fly the drones. Applications, you can use common sense and mark all correct. How do you control the drones? Defend yourself. Suppose this is a building, sensitive building, then you install a jammer here, so that whenever any drone comes nearby, this jammer will not allow it to work because of interference in the signals. Instead of permanently installing a jammer, you can also have jamming guns with you. You direct this gun towards a drone and it will emit some signals which will again interfere with the functioning of the drone. Third method is laser. Use laser light to damage the drone. Or you can throw a net through some specialized guns. You can throw a net on the drone, right? Or you can take a big drone with a big net and sweep away the smaller drone. What are Heron and Sky Striker? These are some drones made by Israel which India is using. What are Sea Guardian, Reaper and Predator? Predator has been very famous, okay, especially for strikes on Afghanistan. So these three are drones used by USA. DRDO has also made some drones like Rustam, Ghatak, Bharat, Lakshya, Nishant. Pegasus is a spyware. What is a spyware? That we have already studied on page number 54. It has been made by NSO Group of Israel. It is such a powerful spyware that it can even infect your iPhones, which are otherwise considered very secure. Therefore, NSO Group sells it only to governments. Under which law does government does surveillance? Mainly under two laws. Telegraph Act 1885 is used to surveillance on mobile calls, and Information Technology Act 2004 surveillance on all electronic devices, be it your mobile phone, your email or WhatsApp or anything. Each and everything comes under this law. Geospatial data we had already studied. This is your photo of the earth, satellite photos. On this you put some layers of roads, buildings, other installations. So all this digital data that you are overlaying on a photo is your geospatial data. Just like a Google Earth, open Google Maps in your mobile phone. There you will see some options to see the traffic and buildings and everything. So all that is geospatial data. So just like Google Earth, in 2009, ISRO made Bhuvan. So Bhuvan portal is exactly like Google Earth, but the geospatial data on it is extremely variety of very specific, India specific and very much useful. You can use it and administrators also use it quite often, right? So government has now launched some more portals on geospatial data. Names of them is not important, like Sarthi and Manichatran. Names are not important. Just understand what is Survey of India. You should know about the basic thing. So Survey of India is the oldest among these three. It was launched established in 1767. Headquartered Dehradun, Ministry of Science. Geological Survey 1851, Kolkata, Ministry of Mines. Archaeological Survey of India 1861, Delhi, Ministry of Culture. Mosquirix is a trade name of RTSS, which is a malaria vaccine that we studied on page number 42. SatNav, it is a policy for satellite based navigation prepared by ISRO. All the components of it like Gagan and SBAS, Gemini, all these things we have studied on page number 30 and 31. Internet Governance Forum was launched by UN in 2006. It is basically like an annual meeting where governments and companies come together and discuss that how the internet should be governed, right? India hosted it in 2008 itself. Now if you read the headlines of this PIB article, India to host the first Internet Governance Forum, then you will think that for the first time India is going to host this. This is wrong. India hosted it in 2008 itself. Then what is this PIB article saying? It is saying that just like it is an initiative of United Nations, similarly India is also going to launch a similar thing. The name of that thing is India Internet Governance Forum. Okay, that is what is going to be launched. Private companies in space race. UPSC will simply say Blue Origin, Virgin Galactic, and SpaceX. What are these? These are some private companies which are aiming for space tourism and other space race. Right? Like right now, most of the work of NASA is being done by SpaceX. Who was the first space tourist? Dennis Tito in 2001. He went to International Space Station that we have already studied. International Space Station. Okay, he went to that in a Russian Soyuz rocket. Russian Soyuz rocket are just like a space shuttle. Earlier, NASA used to use these space shuttles to go to International Space Station. So similarly, Soyuz rocket are of Russia. How many Indian origin women have been in space? Indian origin women, not Indian women. Till now, only one Indian citizen has been to space, and that is Rakesh Sharma. Indian origin women were Kalpana Chawla, Sunita Williams, and Sirisha Bandla. So recently some people went to space, okay, and one of them was Sirisha Bandla. And Kalpana Chawla and Sunita Williams went through NASA. What is Eutelsat quantum satellite? So UPSC will say that quantum satellite means it uses quantum technology. No, this name is misleading. Quantum satellite is that Mischius that we studied on page number 13. Here only name is quantum, nothing else is quantum about it. It is normally a communication satellite launched by European Space Agency. Communication satellites are mostly generally in which orbit? Geostationary orbit. It is also there. The unique thing is it is reprogrammable. Okay, it can change its coverage zone, on which bandwidth it is operating. See, suppose this is Earth and here is India. A geostationary satellite which is hovering over India will always remain over India, right? The special thing about this satellite is that tomorrow if the operators say that satellite should move away, this particular satellite should move away from India and go to Africa, then it will go to Africa and then it will stick there. After a few days it will go to let us say Australia and it will fix there. So it is reprogrammable. If someone tries to jam its signals, then it can change its bandwidth also, right? So that is a unique thing. It does not use any quantum technology. GSAT-1 or EOS-3 that is a satellite which we tried to launch by GSLV, but it failed. Okay, so what exactly failed in it? The cryogenic stage in which very cold liquids are used, that we studied on page number 57. Nauka, Russia is also a part of International Space Station, given on page number 66. Yeah, na? So Russia recently launched a module for International Space Station. It is basically a laboratory by Russia, biggest space lab made by Russia till now. Ganymede is a moon of Jupiter, which is also the largest moon in the solar system. Recently, through Hubble Space Telescope, using the data from it, scientists have deduced that there is lots of water on Ganymede. Galileo was the first spacecraft to orbit Jupiter, and Juno was the second spacecraft which is currently orbiting Jupiter. What are Einstein rings? See, normally when you see photos of space, you would see things like this, like this, that very small galaxies or stars. But sometimes it appears like this, like a small water bubble, like there is some lens in between. So what is happening? This is called as Einstein ring or Clausen ring. It is due to gravitational lensing, or the reason is mainly that the gravity bends the light, which we've already studied earlier also, that there is a small galaxy here. Now this galaxy, the light bends, and therefore we see it like this. So this thing is what is looking like this. So your course of science is over. Thank you very much.